Hello, my name is TONDRAE KEMP. I'm the General Manager of SummerStage Citywide. I'd like to welcome you to Capital One City Parks Foundation's SummerStage Anywhere. We have a great show for you tonight featuring National Poetry Month celebration with Nuyorican Poets Cafe. SummerStage is New York's largest free outdoor performing arts festival. In our typical in-person season, we bring more than 200 renowned artists and rising stars from around the world to neighboring parks across all 5 boroughs, reflecting the true diverse cultures of New York City. While we wait until we can gather safely in parks, we're thrilled to continue to produce digital music and dance performances on SummerStage Anywhere. Join us weekly as we offer our stage to voices from around the city and across the globe. Tag your social posts, hashtag SummerStage Anywhere to add your voice to the conversation. As an independent nonprofit organization, we rely on donors to help us make SummerStage possible. So please support our work by donating anything you can to summerstageanywhere.org. Thank you for joining us, and we hope you enjoy tonight's show.
A woman. In every flower that I see, a woman is staring back at me. I see her hair in all the trees. I smell her fragrance through the leaves. Her sorrow has filled the salty seas, her tears of joy, her fluidity, of masculine and femininity, balanced being of resiliency. Her arms lift me up to mountain tops. Her working hands below my feet are rocks, the kind that would never let me drop, and her clouds remind me to never stop. Wonderful woman that is Mother Earth, to all this glorious life gave birth. In every beautiful element that makes up the world, I imagine she too was a little girl. The precious petals that decorate her gaze, the dewy mist, her morning haze, the gentle place between sleep and wake. To see a woman is all it takes. For all things big once were small. To grow that seed was woman's call. She answered light in darkness fall. I've seen a woman through it all.
Dark Tower after hours rocked. Madame C.J.'s daughter decked 2 limestones with dough from Mars' hot combs, and there was poetry and song, and Satchmo caught the beat and kicked it down to Duke, the elegant Ellington playing what he wanted, but Garvey did too. Black Star Line, 'cause he knew what time it was. Walker, Aurelia, silver turban, 6-foot frame, vivacious curves and nerves like a pit bull's balls. Gangs all here, and I swear, Langston was always broke. Nigga was clean, but broke. Du Bois was a voice choice, a lock. Like Allen, like Deep, like stylish, like Zora. Sassy as a god watching his eyes on her prize. White Lies plus Jesse Forsett, best bet to get poems seen. And on the black screen, Within Our Gates by Oscar Michaud. No go down Moses, but a maze. Dazing them, phased us. Can't drink, can't cuss, Can't fornicate, couldn't wait to assimilate on 136 near 8. Spot got Langston's weary blues clung to the wall. Alberta blowing right down the hall. County Cullen counting couplets. White folks chewing chitlins, black folks sipping champagne. Bubbles of W troubles like Tuma's cane. Not sugar but sweet like Corinta when the sun go down. And Harlem be brown like Paris be bright like Josephine Baker, banana nut shaker making jazz the mother tongue. And how much sun can one man make? Lil U.B. Blake keying songs with Noble Cicero shuffling along. And you was wrong if it wasn't about the race, 'cause most of the rest got a nasty taste of a different kind of beat. Harlem, sweet Harlem, blowing slow, playing fast, and enjoy yourselves, 'cause it ain't gonna last. Snatch, patch, tilt. A quilted layer of lavender dust brushed against a crusted, yawning dew. Beach blue balloons and cryptic caricatures disguised as skulls in Saturday morning cartoons. Tripping over crayon, acrylic, liquid text. Canvas wet with sprayed paint as St. Joe Louis frowns. A crazy cat-like kaleidoscopic crown plopped atop his processed dome. All alone, same old flashes a Leon Spinks gap. Boombox blazing, Armani staining, scratching out an introspective mud club rap. Basement bohemian chained to the cane, stashed in a dungeon frying his brain. Color so bold, looking so fly as life passes. Think same old ain't no burden Hendrix was in the mix? Cold shaking coke, boiling hops. Rush hour crept, begged it to stop, then his heart burst. Guess you couldn't trust your muse to dance, paint, and ain't it a waste when one's so low the bottom's 2 floors above? In love with love, the ideal, the dream, chance to glance at a windswept cream-colored kiss. This retrospective bliss the art world dare sing. And it's a good thing Pollock's last name was in Jackson because abstract expressionism expresses itself in far more esoteric terms when one resides on the other side of the tracks. As I sift amidst a makeshift maze of scarlets from Scarsdale, harlots from Spain, stark images in eggshell whites, names like Miro, Picasso, de Kooning, Monet, on this day meant to pray for a king. They sing sad songs so sullen, then saunter from frame to soapbox appropriations of pouring eyes and valentines, of wine, cheese, gentrified greed, feeding on whispers, periods blue, of severed ears, years of excess, which turns my intestines a raspberry red. Sick of the talk, sick to the touch, sick of this sickness labeled genius by salacious sycophants who paint not nor enjoy the beauty of a midsummer sunset's golden brow. How are they able to dictate value of oil, paint stick, acrylic ink, and I think of Jean-Michel? Vividly abstract, viciously scorned, whose ghost rides a skeletal hypodermic horse into never ever land, where I stand and stare, lights glaring from glass, succinctly wrapped round linen and ash, and beginning to wonder, why is our style labeled wild? And why are we surrounded by snakes? Taking a moment, I sit, reflect. What if Pollock's last name were King? Would he sing the praises of blessing supreme, have courage enough to withstand the beam of an officer's flashlight, blinding eyes meek, or blood from a nightstick, a concrete interpretation labeled pour and drip technique? As curators speak, I fear their noise. Defiance, decadence, upper crust. Must trust my muse, its passion refrain. Come to love unfamiliar names. Reyes, Rascal, Davy, Kilolo, Co. Breathing artists who portray a world where original buckwheat yearns to be free. or as the natives rage, the tis that I thee. Can it be art if one cannot see how to play the game? And it's a shame Jean-Michel's last name wasn't Jackson, because abstract expressionism expresses itself in far more esoteric, majestic vessels break against a rippling white-capped foe. Magnificent wood weeps silently round royal undertow. Lush clouds tear, silver islets muddle shadows, blue echoes shaded pain. Rhythmic sway of crow's spine crushed against a grease-slime board. Through Il Gore's door, can't go back no more, 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 more. Is silent sound? Can burning flesh express self through frenzied notes and abstract sax? Cymbals snap, snares beat, thumbs thump against weathered oak. Crazed conductor orchestrates pain miles from shore, a symphony of sorrow. Drip the blood, slip the slide, splinters split, long ride to new world, heard in strings a broken bass, plucked by fingers, pick the fiber, squeezed blue, the black from blood, 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 blood. The mud green bench, hard as pine, plays feathered bed to chalk white skin, a straw-haired head chasing Z's. Pot-filled breeze sweeps, sunlight peeps through solemn trees. Glazed glint hints of beauty past, fast fading, this masquerading lady known as bag. Magnified tear from swollen eye plops then sighs. Obese belly, vanilla jelly, overlaps and nestles upon tattered coat. Overhead, clouds billow. Below, trash serves as pillow. Aluminum gold mine, sign of times. Fire red alarm clocks screech, beseeching one who sleeps to rise. Head turns, cornflake fingers burrow olive drab enclave, eyes remain shut. But gray-brown nuts and day-old crumbs cause frantic squirrels to prey, oblivious to snores, coughs, emanating from breathing statue, who chooses then snoozes this scene. On the mud-green bench, behind the iron-cast fence, beyond the towering arch, on this lovely Sunday morning in Washington Square Park, 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 Park. Charlie Parker, Frank Morgan, Sonny Rollins, Dexter Gordon, Benny Carter, Jackie McLean, John Coltrane.
I don't see color, she said as she smiled and turned. Was it so easy to disregard, denounce, and deny me? Was she too blind to see the history written into my epidermis? This skin color don't come for free. I've been charged, done paid the price. Too many shades removed from my African ancestry, and she said, I don't see color. How could she so conveniently ignore the weight that I bore, the brunt of stereotypes, misunderstandings, and miseducation, people's prejudices playing favorites with me? Did she think that I would shrivel up, accept her desire to wipe me out of history, and a collective memory reminding folks of what brownish truly means? She straight up tried to play me, and before my nerve endings had received the electrical impulses from my brain, I yelled, stop right there. Did you think it'd be that easy to escape from me? I'm in everything your eyes can see. This skin has a long legacy belonging to a proud people. My melanin plays griot storyteller, and if you listen close, you just might see what it's like to be me. Every layer of my skin is embedded with an identity whose past has made her path quite clear. Don't let your eyes fail or fool you into believing that I am not me. This skin is your destiny. Bleaching creams need not apply, and I don't care to hide from the sun's golden touch or the nourishment it provides. You may not see color, but you're gonna see me. Take a good look, honey. I'm the largest organ on the human body. I deserve some respect. Preaching color blindness as if she could forget the haunting voices calling out through my genetic code. If you listen close, you can hear the caciques left to die. If you listen close, you can hear the chanting of Yoruba healers calling out. If you listen close, you can hear the pounding of power-filled hands on congas. If you listen close, you can hear the bomba in my skirt. If you listen close, then your eyes would tell you what a tragic mistake it would be to try and deny me. Nana, take the pajamas with the long pants. Why, Mommy? I said take the pajamas with the long pants. They would serve as protection, fully clothed as I slept, so no hands would be tempted to touch this teenage body. This is how we prepared our daughters for slumber parties in homes where men lived, a cultural norm, the absence of truth, a lifetime subscription to patriarchy. We made our girls victims to the advances of men. With developing bodies, girls as young as 10 have memories of being prey to predatory stares and villainous commentary. Oye, mami, todo eso es tuyo. From men eager for them to ripen. They pluck our sisters from sidewalks like low-hanging fruit is plucked from mango trees. And so we cover them in long pants and long sleeves to make them less pretty, less tantalizing. Lessons are easier taught to young girls than they are to old men. We teach victimhood. We teach silence. We teach what were you wearing? Why were you there? What time was it? We teach shame. Shame that the tender physique of a young girl might trigger the lust of wolves. Wolves like men, like fathers, like uncles, like brothers, like men like the female form. Like to possess it, like they possess land, something to be owned. And so I wore my pajamas with the long pants so that my brown skin wouldn't read like a for sale sign.
So we live in a world that relies heavily on digital technology, and because of the pandemic, we rely on it even more so. So I figured to bring about balance for this poem, I'd go analog. I've got a muse that never counts sheep, a pen that hears dog whistles and neutrons beep, an internal clock that is anxious and dyslexic, and a hookup with a doorman to a black hole nexus. I'm deranged, I'm crazy, I'm a tormented artist. Soliloquies are more than cathartic. I'll speak in metaphors regardless of how many theaters and open mics close their doors. I'm protagonist, antagonist, and author to my own lores. I can't stop hooting and howling and hollering like thunder. My thoughts can't be muffled or pacified. They refuse to go unuttered. They must shout and scream and wail and bellow. They won't whisper, be reticent, or low-key or mellow. Giving me downers is like turning up the bass. If I can't be heard, I'll shake up the ice cream in place. Because the only cages kids should be in is for baseball practice, not at a border, an island, or in the machine in the upper stratus. I think it'd be common sense to fight for freedom of speech. For one day you too may be accused of rhetoric that is an overreach. So how can I muzzle my muzzle or yip my yip when we still have so far to go to get where we get? I'm still screaming. So there are many things in life I started out because I thought it would impress girls. including poetry. But this next poem is about something else, and over time, it became a lot deeper for me, and I hope you enjoy it. It's as if she could walk on air. Her voice alone would make people move and smile and laugh, even those who didn't understand a single word she was saying. She puts the river in my torso and waterfalls in my eyes, running vibrations through my arteries, pumped out of my chakras, calling on all primal instincts. She is sequacious. She is possessive. She is salsa. I began to study her language on my own. Over the course of burnt books and charcoal artistry, I found remnants of the childhood of her grandparents. Gramps in his Bantu dialect was learning how to harness these drums called a makuta, a yuka, and bembe. Grandma was charming la clave and teaching wires how to manipulate sound. They had met during the slave trade that brought the people from Africa over to Hispaniola and took the people of present-day Latin America over to the Congo. They had found rhythm in the oceans. Abuelito's percussions would ward off evil spirits, and Abuelita's melody would string along good luck and peace. The courting period lasted for centuries. In the late 1800s, Spanish colonial rule over the island we now know as Cuba had banned all African instruments. Thus, the ngoma drum had to be remade, remixed, refurnished, and today we call that drum the conga, paying homage to its homeland. Half a century later, crony capitalists fell victim to its seduction. Now, the music didn't assimilate, but it got its American roots during the Prohibition era. Rich United States citizens would fly down to the Caribbean so that they could legally drink, and the bars would showcase our culture's art. The Yankee had to have it. A few official and unofficial occupations later, a few official and unofficial drafts into the war later, and these same palms that had been keeping my people in rhythm and tune was brought to New York City to shine its streets paved with gold. Most fight fire with fire. We have always battled the enemy with love. This music was our Jackie Robinson, breaking segregated barriers. Before there was Don Omar or Mark Anthony or a Rico Suave, it was Tito Puente, Tito Rodriguez, Miguelito Alvarez, and the same tides that had been keeping racism alive started to push and open the doors to the Palladium, where they started to play the cha-cha, the Argentine tango, the Cuba rumba, the Congo, and mambo, which all began to blend and created salsa. Y canto la vida de risas y penas, de momentos malos y de cosas buenas. It defined mi corazón, la arma y amor of who I am. Yo soy Latino, and I invite you all to share with me just one of the great creations of my culture, salsa.
What you know? What you know? What you know about Jim Crow? What you know about domestic terrorism? What you know about storming the Capitol? What you know about whites only? What you know about no niggers, no pets? What you know about water hoses and German shepherds? What you know about dying to be free? What you know about having your foot cut off to keep from running? What you know about roots? What you know about the peculiar institution? What you know about the Trail of Tears? What you know about Jefferson's yellow niggers? What you know about working for free all your life? What you know about being whipped unconscious? What you know about being killed for knowing how to read? What you know about being inspected like cattle, sold and separated from your family, getting your freedom and still not getting free? What you know? What you know? What you know? What you know? What you know about the Emancipation Proclamation? What you know about the Civil War? What you know about reparations? What you know about we ain't getting shit because we've already been jacked? What you know? What you know? What you know about being called boy despite being a man? What you know about having crosses burnt on your front lawn? What you know about World War I, World War II, and it's okay to die for this country overseas. As long as you return, you remember you are still a nigga. What you know? What you know? What you know? What you know about the Scottsboro boys? What you know about Dred Scott? What you know about making your mark because you can't read or write? What you know about Plessy versus Ferguson? What you know about 8-year-old Linda Brown? What you know about building more jails than schools? What you know about slavery by another name? What you know about the Emancipation Proclamation? What you know about incarceration and mandatory drug sentencing? What you know? What you know? What you know? What you know about Morgan versus Virginia? What you know about get to the back of the bus? What you know about Linda Brown? What you know about Thurgood Marshall? What you know? What you know about Manifest Destiny? What you know about Christopher Columbus ain't discovered shit? What you know about Walter White passing for white? What you know about the souls of black folks? What you know about the Tuskegee experiment? What you know about church bombings and little girls dying? What you know about poll taxes? What you know about guess how many jelly beans are in this jar? And then maybe you can vote questions. What you know? What you know? What you know? What you know? What you know about fixed elections? What you know about presidential elections and hanging chads? What you know about Florida? What you know about white primaries? What you know about slave states, slave codes? What you know? What you know? What you know? What you know about Smith versus Albright? What you know about the 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendments? What you know about being 3/5 of a person? What you know about the Constitution not being written for us? What you know about Emmett Till and why his mother kept that coffin open? What you know about Tulsa, Oklahoma, 1921, the Greenwood section? What you know about 35 blocks of black businesses burned down and no one white went to jail for the crimes they committed? What you know? What you know? What you know about 8 minutes and 46 seconds? What you know about 41 shots? What you know about stop and frisk? What you know about white lynch mobs? What you know? What you know? What you know? What you know about no justice, no peace? What you know about justice not being for us? What you know about the FBI and the CIA knowing every move that Malcolm and Martin made, but they still can't stop drugs from coming into the hood? What you know? What you know? What you know about no justice, no peace? What you know about justice not being for us? What you know? What you know? What you know about separate but equal? What you know about ain't shit changed? What you know? What you know? What you know? What you know? What you know about America? What you know about America? What you know about America? 19 years old. Looking like you are 99, runaway child, where is your youth? You trick to cop, you cop to use. You spend your days and nights in blowjob chokeholds. Where is the mother you call bitch and the father you never met? They should be killed for conceiving you, then discarding you. Your life is not concerned with the ticking of time, just your next high. Every time you sell your body, you tongue kiss death. Your face already bears the marks of a life gone wrong. You've been raped, scarred, and cut for the sake of drugs and alcohol. And the father of your DCP and P child is 35 years your senior with a wife, 3 kids, and 2 girlfriends. The only thing he ever did for you was offer you cash for sexual favors. But in your eyes, I can tell. In fact, I know you want more than a title of prostitute. But your life has been nothing more than a downward spiral from hell. You were 8 years old the first time your virginity was taken. You can barely read or write. You've already OD'd twice. And I can chart a trip around the world with the track marks on your arms. I know why you don't believe or trust, but you can up and down your pain with coke, dope, sticks, and pills. Because when you come out that high, out that nod, the pain within is still there. And you're off to the races to get off of empty. You don't even know how many men you've been with, but this month you guessed the number at 50 plus or minus 5. How long? How long do you think you can go on this way before someone puts a 380 to your dome to take what you are selling for free and your life? 3 a.m. on the corner of Sherman and Hawthorne is no place for a young lady to be, but I find you there often, 3 blocks away from where the other girls were found dead, throat slashed by some madman. And I thank the one I call God for allowing you to struggle through another day, but I find no hope in the fact that your life is not important to you. So I try to think of the perfect thing to say to inspire a soul. Already did, but I can't. So I'll offer you a sandwich and something warm to drink. Your first meal in 3 days. You smell like urine, but I give you a hug, and then a car passes. I lose your attention to your addiction. You get in. You don't say thank you. And I wonder, when you was little, did you dream of being a doctor or a lawyer? I wonder, did you have a favorite color or a favorite toy? But what I wonder most of all is, will I see you again? I tell you, be careful. I tell you where you can find me. I tell you, when you are ready, I'll be there for you. And you say, I'm scared.
I owe too many poems to too many women. Undefinable heroes, some with names that'll never touch my lips. Human beings that will never be more than the vague, fungible assignments we give. Mother, wife, woman. This is for you, Emily Shack, who migrated from Marianna, Florida to Newark, New Jersey to raise 2 Black men of her own. You, Ho-Young Kim, who emigrated from Seoul, South Korea to the United States of America with a Black man, so yeah, family disowned. You, Raquel Baraka, who traveled from Santo Domingo, DR to Prison City, New Jersey for a man she loved and a ready-made family. And you, the Honorable Karimu F. Hill Harvey, who was told by her high school counselor that she'd never be college material. So she went on to college, and then to law school, and then became a lawyer, a judge, and a college professor. So maybe it's because the women who raised me wear their struggle beneath onyx and alabaster surfaces where Black and any accent don't crack, that they be beautiful and I be they, and they be the type to stitch their dreams into my eyelids, stitch my eyelids to the air, make come true. So I write them into my verses and I fight for them with everything I do because being a woman is hard. And being a woman of color is harder. For starters, Breonna Taylor's walls got more justice than she did. And what is a wall? A structure that leaves us enclosed or divided. And isn't that the mission? To enclose and divide, like one woman in her home plus 1 bullet from her gun somehow equals 22 bullets shot by the biggest gang in Louisville, Kentucky, led by Uncle Tom, Daniel Cameron. But I see you, Breonna, and I'm sorry they couldn't. The white erasure of Black faces and Black bodies and Black voices and Black stories will not succeed. From Tamika Palmer to Tamika Mallory, we fight for us and we shall be freed. Black women and women of color, we come from a breed forged by rape and mutilation, racism and deprivation, torture and violence, yet here we are. Kamala Harris 2020 vibes, breaking our silence. Some of y'all talking about hashtag protect Black women, like y'all ain't been the ones hashtag hurting Black women, hashtag attacking Black women, hashtag abusing Black women, hashtag using Black women, hashtag dehumanizing Black women, hashtag belittling Black women. There be no boxes could contain the roundness of this spirit, and there be spirit under this petite mound of flesh. And you can't menagerie we into glass spaces. We be more than this figurine. We are rainbow women who tattoo wings to our ankles, who sprinkle glitter and hot sauce on our tongues, and you try to tame us, break, bend, and reshape us. But we are rainbow women. We jump into piles of autumn leaves with matches on our feet. We light fires, and sometimes we bathe in them, kindle them with the liquor on our breath and the gasoline in our gut. We are playing with the fire we be touched by, hoping this burn doesn't leave a scar. And you are nothing compared to the beautiful struggles my mothers have already overcome. Rainbow women been protecting y'all. Who gonna protect rainbow women? How do I write a poem about justice without talking about Black bodies? Like, Black bodies ain't the people I love. Like, Trayvon don't remind me of my nephews. Like, Sandra don't remind me of my sister. Like, George don't remind me of my daddy. Like, Elijah don't remind me of me. An introvert and different and unbelievably fucking strong. Like being Korean and black during coronavirus in Trump's America don't make me want to burn it all down. How do I write a poem about justice when Flint, Michigan still doesn't have clean water? When over 5,460 children have been separated from their parents at the border, when children are being tear gassed, when children are being tear gassed during the pandemic of a respiratory disease, when children are being tear gassed during the pandemic of a respiratory disease for protesting the murder of a black man by a white police officer, how do I write a poem about justice? Like, the war on drugs didn't lead to black fathers being ripped from black babies, slavery. Like, the war on drugs didn't lead to black bodies being stopped, being frisked, like it don't matter if blacks live. Like, the war on drugs didn't lead to 1 in 13 black Americans losing their right to vote due to a felony conviction. That was 2016, the same year as Trump's election. I said 1 in 13 black Americans without the right to vote. How do I write a poem about justice when I'm sitting here filling out applications' current situation? My mother relies on me to help her save her Korean barbecue restaurant in New Jersey. She does not understand that this country doesn't care about either one of us or our survival. All she knows is that Shake Shack got $10 million, and how come she hasn't gotten anything yet? I tell her what the SBA representative told me, that we filled out the application too early, just before quarantine, when Asian businesses were already struggling because of the virus. They streamlined it since then and threw out our application without telling us there's nothing left for businesses like ours. I've applied for the NJEDA, the PPP, the EIDL of the SBA, and I'm looking for the words to say, I don't know how to help you, Mom. I don't know how to help you, Dad. I don't know how to help Trayvon. I don't know how to help Oscar Grant. I don't know how to help Brianna, Dominique, or Tony, Philando, Tamir, or Aubrey, but I'm looking for the words to say if our lives didn't matter. Why are they working so hard to take them away? Write because you want to make facts facts again. Read because the first step to co-opting a system is engaging in it. Just ask the FBI, the CIA, Justice Roberts, and Brian Kemp. Run because when you're standing in the voting booth trying to decide between Tweedledee and Tweedleduh, you'll ask yourself why there isn't a better choice. And fight because when they try to dismantle our bodies from our breath, we gotta use our voice.
The thing about trauma is that it's often realized in retrospect. So when you are experiencing trauma, you may not realize that this is the word for the weight in which you are carrying. Instead, you will find a boulder housed inside your chest. You will find yourself tasked with the duty of carrying this boulder everywhere, apologizing to other people for letting it take up so much space, apologizing to the boulder for not being strong enough to carry it. You will feel unworthy. The feeling of not being enough will cook itself in the heat of your mouth and find it spilling everywhere you go, like pieces of sand off a shoe after you've walked out of an ocean. But you must remember that there was a time it wasn't like this, when it was just you and your heart with no interruptions. My first experience of racism was when I was 3 years old, when a group of white teachers locked me outside in 6 inches of snow for an hour. After leaving me in an hour to soak with the ice, my hands turned into their own wind chimes, my cry soared from its own echoes. They decide to swarm around me like an interrogation office and say, if you don't stop crying, we will place your finger inside of here until it burns. And isn't that something? How trauma always wants to burn your sense of what you feel about what you know. So these lips, knowing only crumbs of English, a language accented so different than my own, like a crescent moon backflipping itself into a new galaxy, these lips did not move like their lips moved. These hands did not move like their hands moved. Later that day, when I told my mother, who was young and new to this country, the only thing she knew to do was to quietly simmer her lips, to thread them shut and nod, the way the light nods to darkness at the end of the day, or the way the fear nods to its closing in the presence of darkness. So, Now there's a 5-year-old me, or a 10-year-old me, or a 15-year-old me, or a 26-year-old me, and I'm walking around the world wondering why every room feels like a no, feels like you don't belong here, or you're not enough. How that sweet whistle haunts my every step. How I bend my back like the spine of an overgrown rose. How I make my tongue a sacrifice for others. How I bend my back like the spine of an overgrown rose. How I make my tongue a sacrifice for others. Trauma is the ghost that lives inside of you long after all the others leave. It is the root of the mildew stuck to all your organs, reaching everything you touch if you let it sit inside of you long enough. The only way I knew how to deal with this pain is to go back to that 3-year-old me and tell her, listen, this world will break you if you let it, but inside of you is a fire no rain could put out. In you is a foundation the mountains lay on. So when they lock you outside, make a snow angel out of the white dirt on the ground. And when you don't understand a word of what they say, make up your own dance or song or an entirely new language that is nobody else's but yours to bask in. And when they swarm around you like a bouquet of locusts, make your chin a shotgun, your eyes the strongest rifle they ever known, and know that this too is your becoming. That no, you did not deserve any of this pain, but you survived it, and you can survive anything. So move those pebbles to the side and know that you are always, always, always enough.
I want to dedicate my set tonight to Craig Mums Grant, who we lost recently. Mums was a legend of the Nuyorican Poets Cafe family, of the New York art scene. He was one of the most multi-talented Renaissance artists I've ever met. He was a poet, he was a writer, he was an actor. He seemingly could do it all. And I'm grateful that I got the opportunity to know him as a person and to collaborate with him. And I am sending love to his family, to his friends, to his collaborators. And as my dear friend and another great artist, Jive Poetic, recently wrote, we need to appreciate the great artists that are around while they are still here. So I hope we can honor Mums in the way that we celebrate each other for the people that we are, for the art we create, and also never forget the gifts that Mums gave us while he was here. And this poem right here is about trying to find myself. I think before, poetry helped me find my way back to the person that I am. And it's about being 15 years old, out dancing with some friends at this all-ages dance night. And it's called Remix Any Wreckage. And it goes like this. My entire wardrobe was Canal Street original. Knock-off chic. Adolescent sleek in my double XL blue and black bubble jacket. Yeah, I was inside the club, and what? Inside an oversized coat coated in sweat and Old Spice. A kid eyeing 16, but not quite there. I wanted it all Chico. Learner's permits, the latest Jordans in baby blue, maybe a wink from the pretty Boricua in social studies. And when Biggie's verse dropped in Only You, he was in that room teaching us how to stay elevated. From that third floor wasteland, towering above India Point, so we sang, sour-throated and nostalgic, for times we hadn't yet lived in unison, like we wrote it, till our voices cracked and spilled over and between every rift. But in the throng of lost kids where I finally found a self I loved, it all came together. Like we could remix any wreckage and make it into a stage to slay, so we swayed and grinded like our lives were a music video tribute. Hip.
to hip.
Think it's time we bring it. 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 Everybody bow your head to 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 it. Yeah. Break the mother 11 speakers. Break the mother 11 speakers. Get wild, get loud. Let them know why we shall. There are times to chill, but not now. Go hard or go home, no doubt. Can't set a roof off, but the move get loose and just goof off. If your feet ain't stomping, then you're too soft. Let it rip like a mother loving chainsaw. I'm Harder in the Crenshaw. I'm Sacktown, the boogie down. I'm Shot-Town, the K-Town. Worldwide, it's around Sam. We OD when it's amplified. Dirty dancing that you sanitize. Boom back, you baptized. Full snap, you revitalize. Clap back, now we mobilize. Clap with it. Clap with it. Clap with it. Be so tribal, 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 tribal. Rhythm so vital, 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 vital. Ride the wave like a tidal, 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 tidal. We do this for survival, 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 survival. Break the mother living spirit. Break the mother living spirit. Break the mother living. Can you dig it? Are you with it? 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 Cause you gotta shake it and fake it before you take it and break it. You gotta get it and rip it before you hit it and quit it. You gotta pop it and lock it before you rock it and drop it. You gotta dig it and pin it before you finish it. You gotta shake it and fake it before you take it and break it. You gotta get it and rip it before you hit it and quit it. You gotta pop it and lock it before you rock it and drop it. You gotta dig it and pin it before you finish it with it. Come on! Break the mother loving spirit. Break the mother loving spirit. Break the mother loving. Sometimes you gotta drown it out. Drown out the bullish. Turn up the gut-ish. Drown out the trash talk. Turn up the pep talk. Drown out the nonsense. Turn up your conscience. Drown out the nonsense. Turn up your conscience. Ooh, one way or another, their speakers is breaking. One way or another, their behinds is shaking. I know when it blows, gonna be history making. Every minute documented from the photos taken. It's getting out of control and everybody's racing. For the exit signs, it's the worst placing. Step you out of the window, ain't no reason for chasing. Last chance in my dance, and protect them facing. Pop a lie, won't stop, jumping like it's high. Give it all you got, cause the mother loving speakers is breaking. Break the mother loving spirit. Break the mother loving spirit. Break the mother loving spirit. Break the mother. Turn it up, 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 turn it up. Break the mother loving spirit. Break the mother loving spirit. Break the mother loving spirit. Get down, 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 get down. Yeah. Can you dig it? Are you with it? 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 Cause you gotta shake it and fake it before you take it and break it. You gotta get it and rip it before you hit it and quit it. You gotta pop it and lock it before you rock it and drop it. You gotta dig it and pin it before you finish it. You gotta shake it and fake it before you take it and break it. You gotta get it and rip it before you hit it and quit it. You gotta pop it and lock it before you rock it and drop it. You gotta dig it and pin it before you finish it with it. Come on! Break the mother loving spirit. 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 Break the mother. Break the mother. Break the mother. Break the mother. Break the mother loving spirit. The loving spirit. The loving. Break the mother loving spirit. Break the mother loving spirit.
Goodbye, I'm sorry. From the bottom of my heart, dear, I apologize. If I cause you pain, I know I'm to blame. Must have been insane. Forgive me. From the bottom of my heart, dear, I apologize. I realize I've been unfair to you. back your glance. Give me back romance. Give me just one more chance. Forgive me. From the bottom of my heart, dear, I apologize. I
These motherfuckers think they're the kings of the jungle. Came to a claw fight with an arrow and a rifle, a whip and a Bible talking out the side of their mouth. To those that built they South, they North, they wealth. One day, a tree gonna punch them in the face, bruise they face, dent that gold they stole, gleaming in their mouth. They gonna say it was me, but it wasn't me. It was that tree. That squirrel that got all the answers Kanye was looking for. What you looking for? What you waiting for? The new Meek Mill joint? You ain't see that elephant coming? You ain't know they cells got nooses? I'm writing this naked, laying next to my girlfriend, happy. But there's an elephant in the room. 'Cause we too hooked into they fibers, waiting on checks, tweeting, scrolling, marching, holding up signs, signing petitions, mad at all the rhetoric, and surprised at how much it resonates. Mad 'cause they ain't mad enough. Burnt at how turnt they got over a mask, over 3 letters. Maybe this the line crossed. Maybe this is the sign to say, hold on to the pole while the earth shifts on the track. And maybe we'll come out the back new, ninja style, stealth, sitting on wires next to birds listening to their plans. 'Cause that algorithm still pop them in the eye based on how I shift my weight. Hashtag 1619. Hashtag stress. Hashtag these rhymes matter.
Let it pour and pour and pour, said the woman to my rear. Preservation Youth Project, St. Mark's Sunday Services, Poetry Project, Theater Genesis, where Richard directed Horse Stroll, community bulletin boards signaling church and people come together on the Peter Gerard Stuyvesant side of St. Mark's. Called Michael to his window when I was walking west on 12th Street. He yawned and waved, though sleep had drained the projected verse from his brow. There's a woman on the 4th floor of 166 2nd Avenue, right over M. Horowitz's sign painter supply store, who's been sitting there since I was 12. I suspect she had a toilet built by the window. Once, I sat and watched her for 13 hours. She never moved. I finally broke the spell because I had to go, not her.